Good morning. Okay, I haven't made a YouTube video on this channel. This is my first channel, or my first YouTube video, I guess, for Evolving to Love. My name is Dina, and I live in the beautiful state of Minnesota. Well, I'm just going to cut to the chase because a lot of you people that I'm going to tag this in know me, and people I'm going to send this to know me, and I'm just actually making a video for them directly. So, my friends, my family, I want you to listen. I beg you to listen to me right now. Some of you know my journey, some of you don't really know my journey. But for the last for 20 some years, I have been studying the Word of God, praying, fasting. I have this ability, this prophetic gift, for sure. I have an insight that has been just gifted, which is beautiful, and I'm so grateful for. I personally think most people can have that if they did the work, but I don't know. The last few years, I have been studying some other stuff. The solid base foundation of scriptural truth and solid base relationship with my Creator. I started to look into other religions, not to join, but to understand, to know, to see a bigger picture, because that's me. That's how I work. I'm a big picture person, and a very, very big picture person. I once compared it to being able to, if you're painting a picture, for example, if you have a big picture, I'm the person that comes in and paints the background. You know, if you're painting a house, I'm going to paint the majority of the house and leave the windows to somebody else. And I'm not really into usually the little details. I also see patterns really well. I mean, I'm like wired to see patterns. I've done this thing over this last year called Human Design, and it's based on astrology. It's based on where the sun and the moon were aligned. I did start to study that a little bit this year, astrology, and some more of the mystic, esoteric kind of religions I've studied. Some the religions that were older than Christianity, and not studying them in the idea of wanting to figure out what was wrong with them, but wanting to see the Creator through them. Put it that way. Yesterday, I got a message from a pastor. Well, from 2 or 3 friends. That was a video of a pastor, and he was calling a prayer alert to people, to Christians, to put up a prayer shield for our president and our nation. Because tonight, June 5th, if you're watching this, I'm going to send it to certain people, but it's June 5th is the supermoon. And it's called a strawberry moon because I guess strawberries are wild right now, but it's a supermoon, and it's a full moon. Okay, so in my little bit of study of astrology and stuff, and understanding, I was on a retreat last October, and the gal was a little new agey. I'd say I'm I don't know if she would call herself a witch or not. I know a lot of people that would call themselves a witch, but it's not the same kind of connotation that that most people have of a witch, right? Black hat, mean cackle. It's more like most of the witches, right? And I'm gonna do this in a quote because the video specifically said witches and warlocks are calling down this curse and using the full moon and using the power. And I just was like, this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. There's a curse going on. There's a curse coming down, but it's Satanists that are doing it. Satanists. Satanists are real and alive, and they are definitely utilizing the power of the moon. Now, there could be some very evil witches, but I'm telling you, for the most part, and don't I don't want to hear any video comments or any, slash comments if you disagree with whether or not there's something that can be called a good witch. Okay? If you do, you probably haven't done enough research. So, so that's not what this video is about. I'm not going to argue this. What I'm wanting to say is that there are Satanists that are utilizing the magnetic energy and the energy of this full moon to do some massive destructive damage to our nation and our president. Some of you watching this might not like our president. I get that. I get how polarizing he is. I can't imagine too many of you guys are going to be watching this that are like, well, maybe you'd just be confused, if anything. Because here's the deal. This is not a movie. What's happening right now in our backyards, in our front yards, is not a movie. This is not pretend. It was to begin with, but what's happening now is not pretend. This is not a movie. This is not practice. This is go time. This is go time. This is no longer a rehearsal. Right now is where the rubber meets the road. I don't care if you like our president or not. We live in the United States of America, and we have laws and we have governing rules that are set in place to be honored, to be abided by. And we need to honor the rules that have been set in place. We have a Constitution and a Bill of Rights. Those Bill of Rights are for individuals. The individual to have the right. Now, I know people are heated and charged about what they think they saw last week with the murder of George Floyd. I know people are upset with what they think they saw by the murder of George Floyd. You saw what people wanted you to see. This is not a movie. This is not a movie. And if any of you guys that are watching this think a civil war is a really good idea right now, you need to go have another thought. Because this is not a movie. We've been so spoiled We're all of us living in the United States are a bunch of spoiled, rotten kids right now. No matter where you're living, if you're living downtown, you're spoiled. If you're living in the ghetto that's burned down, you've been spoiled. If you got a Target across the street from you, you've been spoiled. We all know that everyone in the United States has it good compared to the rest of the world, right? Do you know that? Do you know how good we've had it compared to the rest of the world? Even the poorest kid living in Minneapolis. One of the problems that I've had with a lot of these people that are what I want to say. Sorry. I just need to make sure that I'm delivering the right message to you, not my own thing. So what you need to know is that the full moon has power. Okay? It's coming into alignment with, it's in Sagittarius right now, which means basically horoscopy wise, that's where we're at. And it's coming into alignment, I think, with Mars, and the energy of Mars is destruction, destabilization. I'm sure most of you guys don't study energy of this like stuff, but here's the deal: is it's real. Energy's real. Vibration is real. This is real. This isn't a fairy tale woo-woo thing. Okay, the moon and the energy of the moon is not woo-woo. It's like real. And here's the thing: is that they use it. They use the energy, and we don't. So everybody, if any of you guys shared a black block on Tuesday for the blackout on social media, please pull back your energy from that. Because what you did unintentionally, unknowingly, is you gave your energy, and they're using that energy. You gave your energy to their cause, and they're using it because it's real. It's real. There are contracts and there are covenants, and it's real. And we don't get it because we don't live in it. But I'm telling you guys, it's real. The magic happens, and we think it's magic, but it's not magic. It's just the alignment of natural law. It's people that understand how this world actually works. It's people that understand the rules of the universe and how it works, and they're using it. And us people that are blinded and have never been taught that and refuse to learn it because it's woo-woo and it's voodoo and it's occultish. Occultish means hidden. That's all occult means. Occult is hidden. It's the stuff that's hidden in the darkness. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that it's evil. Not all occult is evil. Occult literally means hidden. And the witches and the warlocks are using the natural laws of the universe to manifest the things that they want to have happen in their lives. Now you get enough of them together and see, here's what they don't understand. Here's what they understand and we don't. I do, because I've been studying it. And this is why I've been so upset, because we have been forced apart and not allowed to meet in groups of people, because a group dynamic raises the energy. Right? So there's energy and there's power in this group dynamic. And we've been forced apart. So our churches can't meet together in that group dynamic. And you can't tell me that an online church is the same thing, because it's not. You're sitting in your home, in your living room, maybe with your family. You might be worshiping, but you know that your worship experience, your church experience always gets you to a higher place when you're around other people that are entering into the same experience with you. You know it. And if you haven't experienced that, you're in a dead church. Go to a different one. I've experienced that in conferences that have nothing to do with church. Those people know what they're doing. Those people know what they're doing. They're using natural law. They're using the natural, the laws that God created, the laws that God gave us. And see, that's what made me start studying this whole, the moon and stuff. Is I went to this retreat. She did this moon ceremony thing, which I thought was like a little woo-woo, and she didn't really have a full understanding of it. She did a little bit, but as we were standing outside, I was looking at this moon, and see, on the full moon, you're supposed to let go of things, release things that you want to cleanse yourself, to purge yourself up, right? So if you have some internal things, personal things that you want to personally purge, tonight's a good night to do that. As I was standing there in October watching this full moon, listening to this lady talk about full moon or something, I felt like God was saying to me to notice this moon, notice this, because this is a cycle that comes around every single month, and He's given us that cycle every single month. Every single month there's a full moon. Every single month there's a new moon. Every single full moon, you're supposed to look at the things that you want to let go of, that you want to purge, that you want to get rid of, and allow the moon to really magnetize it, the energy wise, and let go of it, right? There's magnetic energy to let go and release it. On the new moon, it's supposed to be a time to establish new things, and it's a new beginning. Write out what you'd like to see happen in the next month, and and then there's the quarter moons and crescent moons and all those other things that have different meanings to them as well. But the power and the strength is in the full moon. Look at what happens to the tides in the full moon. This thing with Mars right now coming into alignment with this full moon, with destruction and displacement. And I read those words yesterday. It really kind of like alerted me, because I don't know a lot about the study of all of these other planets. I haven't studied this. I mean, I really haven't. I looked at it a little bit, and like I said, I look for it and say, how do I see my Creator through this, right? So I saw my Creator through it. That was about it, and I didn't really go into the full study of it. I know enough of it to be more stupid, probably, or to sound stupid. I guess bottom line, what I'm asking you guys, I'm almost in 20 minutes here. What I'm saying right now is you need to pray. You need to fast today. The power of the moon goes 3 days before, 3 days after. Tonight's the night. Like 12:42 is the peak at Eastern time. So technically, early tomorrow morning on June 6th. If you can stay up and pray through the peak, do that. I've had all-night watches before. It's been a long time since I've had an all-night watch because I go to sleep really early. But today's the day to fast and pray. And like I said earlier, regardless of whether or not you like our president, we have rules, and we have an election coming up in November. And if you don't like the president, elect him out. But he was elected honorably, legally. And he is our president. If you're Christian, you're watching this, the Bible says to pray for your leaders. Like them or not. I had a really hard time the last 8 years. But I pray for my leader. Because even if Obama was in office, I would not want a civil war. Do you know what a civil war means? Do you know what that means? This is not a movie. I've actually had people on my Facebook saying that maybe that's what we need is a civil war to deal with the 400 years of suppression. Non-black people saying this. There's so much I could say about that whole thing. So much I could say, and I don't want to make it about this. What I want to make this about is I'm just asking you. Your Father in heaven, your Creator, is asking you to step in and intercede today, tonight, for our president and our states, our nation. Our nation is under attack by a bunch of global Satanists who want solely to destroy us. Bottom line, that's what's happening. This is a methodical, it's been working towards this for years. They have things set in place. They know how the energy works. They know how natural law works. That's why they took a lot of energy with the black blocks. And I'm just telling you, people, that we need to pray. We need to pray. You do not want the United States to turn into anything other than it is. We need to continue to move forward. Provide more freedom, more love, more light, more hope for people that are fleeing their countries. We need to be more of what we are. Not tear it down and start all over again. Because unfortunately we don't have enough good people to start it over with. We have a lot of people who've been educated by a system that's been lying to us. I love you all. Love you all. In the end, we win. In the end, we win. And no, God wins in the end. We have 1,000-year reign of good, peace, prosperity. But we're in Revelations. If you guys have not prepped, if you have not prepared, if you do not have extra shit right now, better get to the store and get it. You better stock up. I'm told 2 or 3 months. I'm not close. Not even close. Not even near anywhere close. Stock up. Stock up on storable foods. Get a gun if you don't have one. Learn how to shoot it. Be prepared. Because we're going to go into a big fight right now. And the fight is not over black and white. The fight is over good and evil. The fight is for our nation. And I implore you to pray. Good day.